Hello, I'm George McKenzie. You don't have to go very far around your community before you find a Masonic lodge. In North America alone, there are more than 2 million Freemasons. It is the oldest and largest fraternal organization in the world, and Freemasonry is worldwide. So who are Masons, and what do they do? These men represent virtually every occupation and profession, yet within the fraternity, all meet as equals. Masons come from various religious beliefs and creeds, yet all believe in one supreme being. Many of this country's early patriots were Freemasons. They stood upright as men. 13 of the men who created and signed our Constitution were Masons. Presidents of these United States, also Masons. And the list goes on and on. Perhaps one of the most fascinating aspects of Freemasonry is that so many men from so many different walks of life meet and conduct their affairs in harmony and friendship and call each other brother. As a matter of fact, Freemasonry is dedicated to the brotherhood of man under the fatherhood of God. But is Freemasonry a religion? Absolutely not. Freemasonry offers no salvation, and it doesn't tell men what to believe. Rather, Freemasonry attracts men who already adhere to a set of beliefs about the nature of God, their relationship to God, and the moral conduct their beliefs require. There are many organizations within the Masonic body: the Scottish Rite, the York Rite, the Shrine, and the Grotto. But no matter where a man fits in the body of Freemasonry, he can only have entered through the local Masonic lodge. And not until a man has completed his work in the local lodge and becomes a Master Mason can he join any of the other aspects of the fraternity. The York Rite and the Scottish Rite provide Master Masons advanced study through added teaching levels called degrees. The Knights Templar represents the highest body of the York Rite, which also includes Royal Arch and Cryptic Masonry. The Scottish Rite awards degrees through the 32nd degree in a series of colorful stage dramas. And just as the others, a Shrine Mason must also be a member of a local lodge. The organizations just mentioned represent the hub of what you might see as a Masonic wheel, a wheel with spokes extending to areas which include the entire family. Eastern Star, Rainbow Girls, and De Molay for young men are representative of the total Masonic body. The Masonic experience encourages members to become better men, better husbands, better fathers, better citizens in the community. Beyond the focus on individual development and growth, Masonry is deeply involved in assisting worthwhile community projects and helping people. In fact, Freemasons across our land contribute more than $2 million each and every day to charitable causes, including widows, orphans, and disadvantaged children. Royal Arch and Cryptic Masonry support the Home for Aged Masons in Arlington. Masons' widows who live at the home are supported by the Grand Lodge. The Knight Templar Eye Foundation gives surgical care to the eyes and, in many cases, sight to the blind, without charge. The world-famous Scottish Rite Hospital for Crippled Children in Dallas cares for thousands of children of all religions and races entirely free of charge. In San Antonio, the Scottish Rite Learning Center of South Texas assists children with learning differences such as dyslexia to succeed in the educational environment. Another world-famous Masonic facility is the Shrine Burn Hospital in Galveston. Nationally, there are 19 orthopedic and 3 burn hospitals which not only provide extensive care to patients, but also conduct ongoing research into burn and orthopedic treatments, all with no charge to patients or their family. The Grotto sponsors a broad program of dentistry for handicapped children and supports cerebral palsy research. The Eastern Star maintains a home for elderly members and provides educational assistance for young people. The Eastern Star is made up of men and women with a Masonic connection. Men who join must be Master Masons, while women who join must be the wife, mother, sister, daughter, or granddaughter of a Master Mason. With a total membership of some 2 million, the Eastern Star is easily the largest co-ed fraternal society in the world. The Order of Demolay is for young men ages 13 to 21. It shares many of Masonry's precepts, teaching dedication to God, to home, and to country. Demolay and Rainbow concentrate primarily on charitable efforts in volunteer service to others. Members of these groups don't have to have a family connection to Freemasonry, but they do enjoy Masonic sponsorship and assistance. They all share a belief in God and develop character in part by learning to serve others. Oddly, there is a common notion that Masonry is a secret society, but as you have just seen, it is anything but secret. Masonry does not conceal its existence, it does not conceal its principles or aims. Having come from dark days of persecution when people sought the protection of seclusion, Masonry continues to adhere to certain private information, not in order to hide the truth, but the better to teach it more impressively to any man who becomes a Mason. These square and compasses are examples of tools and implements of ancient architectural craftsmen, the men who built the cathedrals and castles of the Middle Ages. We call them operative masons. These operative masons were much like labor guilds in which apprentices were taught the secrets of geometry, architecture, and the mason's art, and were then advanced to the various ranks of the fraternity. Before the 18th century, meetings of these groups of men became known as lodges, and they began to accept a few men of good character who were not actual working stonemasons. So accepted Freemasonry, as we call it today, had much of its beginnings in those ancient working lodges. But there's a much greater presence in modern Masonry, the presence of antiquity. In Masonry there are many emblems, symbols, and allegories of the ancient temples of initiation, as well as certain rites performed therein. They have persuaded the most learned among Masonic scholars to conclude that Masonry is of very ancient origin and is, in some aspects, the modern successor of the sublime mysteries of the Temple of Solomon and of the temples of India, Chaldea, Egypt, Greece, and Rome. You will even find basic doctrines of the Essenes, Gnostics, and other ancient mystic orders. Masons are men of good character who strive to improve themselves and make their communities a better place. They belong to the oldest and most honorable fraternity known to man. To become a Mason, one must petition a lodge. Applicants must be men of good character and moral conduct who believe in a supreme being.